am I the a-hole for having my neighbor's guest's car towed from my mom's reserved parking spot? My mom lives in a townhouse community in Mesa, Arizona. The way the parking works there is pretty straightforward. Every unit comes with one assigned parking space, and if you need an extra, you have to pay a monthly fee. My mom actually pays for that second spot because I visit often to help her with errands and appointments, and it makes things so much easier if I don't have to fight for visitor parking. The neighbor next to her, Greg, has always struck me as kind of arrogant, though I've mostly ignored it. On one of my recent visits, I pulled up to find a car already sitting in the spot my mom pays for. I asked her whose it was, and she said it was probably one of Greg's guests. So I walked over, knocked, and sure enough, it belonged to his girlfriend. He opened the door and casually said, "Oh, sorry. She ran to the store. She'll be back in a couple of hours." I told him as politely as I could, "Hey, this is the reserved spot we pay for. Please don't park there again. I'm over here several times a week and we need it open." He kind of laughed it off with a, "My bad," didn't think it was a big deal, which already irritated me. But fine, I figured he'd got the message. About a week later, I was back helping my mom unload groceries. As I'm carrying bags into the house, Greg smirks at me and says, "Do you even have permission to park there?" Then he grins, like he's made the funniest joke in the world. I just gave him a nod, ignored it, and went inside. But I felt that passive-aggressive jab hanging in the air. The final straw came not long after. I arrived again, and sure enough, another one of his visitors had parked in our reserved spot. At that point, I was done playing nice. I called a friend of mine who runs a towing company and asked if this situation qualified as a legal tow. He checked and said yes. My mom's spot is clearly marked with her unit number, and she's the only one paying for it. Within 30 minutes, his truck rolled up and the car was gone. My mom and I decided to head to the casino for a few hours after that. When we came back around midnight, the entire cul-de-sac was lit up with flashing lights. 4 police units were outside, and Greg was handcuffed, yelling as they loaded him into a cruiser. Apparently, when he realized the car had been towed, he completely lost it. The cops told him there was nothing they could do, since it was a legitimate tow. He started shouting at them, causing a scene loud enough to wake half the block, and ended up getting arrested for resisting and disturbing the peace. I hadn't expected it to blow up like that. Honestly, I thought he'd just call his guest. They'd pay the towing fee and that would be the end of it. Instead, he embarrassed himself and made everything worse. Now, some of the other neighbors are whispering that maybe I escalated the situation by towing instead of just being patient. But from my perspective, if I'd let it slide, Greg would have kept abusing the spot whenever it suited him. My mom pays extra money every month for that space. It's not optional, it's hers. So, am I the a-hole for having his guest's car towed?